Can this bloke, his teammate, knock him off?
This is going to be very interesting. He's got one new tyre on the right-hand rear of this car. So does that have some effect on the exit drive traction coming out of turn 4, coming out of the final corner, coming out of turn 11? And this will also be interesting here. Flows it through there really nicely. That right-hand rear tyre is going to be put to maximum pressure and exertion on the way out of here.
That looked good.
It did look good. And here's the first number, comes up right now. 19.8, fastest so far.
He diagonalled it more to the apex of turn 4 than James Golding, for example, as we jump on board for the fast run here. This is 240 odd Ks. They're deeper in there in 25 than at any time in Supercars.
He's in!
He has hit the wall massively. Brown has had a monstrous shunt when it mattered on the back straight. What a shame. It tripped up over the curb and he slams the Camaro into the concrete.
Yep, you're right, mate. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm all good, I'm all good.
First portion of the lap was the fastest. It's winded him.
I think I was out of control until I hit that.
It was the way that it landed and immediately slid on that exit, and it's just centre punched into that wall.
Yeah, that was mega.
It's going to take a minute. Yeah, if they're looking for the positives, it was mega first sector, but unfortunately he's come undone in the beach chicane. Let's have a look again at the replay. The first bit didn't look too bad, but flew and sat up for a long time in both directions. This one pitched it, and the way that it bounced, it just didn't come back.
Yeah, it's a compounding thing because it got too far to the left and then too far to the right. So watch this, too far there, then makes the last corner too tight. So off the turn 9 right-hand bit, it ended up too far to the left, which makes the last part, turn 10, too tight. Watch this.
Got out of phase.
Out of this, you're out of phase. So it's a compounding thing. You just get a little wide, then that makes this corner too tight. And then when he turned it, it just lost grip, and the lateral grip then is not good enough. He then hits the tyre bundle, and then it feeds the front of the car in. So the back of the car probably won't be as bad as we thought because the tyres will take some. Have a listen. Oh, no, it'll have rear damage with that too. I thought the rear tyres may have actually been a little bit of the energy taken out. And have a look at the reaction, right? Because here's a guy like Brock, who's the teammate, and again, apologies for the language, but this is the reaction. And this is how much it means to people in these garages and how hard you're trying around here.
Does this scramble the status quo? We're going to find out in 39 laps, and Feeney once again brains him off the line. Woody went nowhere, and he's in strife, and he's dropped back into third, so we've got Brown up the spot already into turn number 1, and Feeney's bolted down the road and off, and a big kerfuffle down here at 1. Cars everywhere. We've got LeBrock, we've got Aaron Cameron, we've got Cam Hill round the outside. We've also got Jackson Evans, of all people, more damage on that car. This will trigger the safety car. Here's the replay. How's the start from Feeney? Woody got bogged down. Will gets in. Stanaway was hustling down the inside, actually ended up with tyres on the grass down there, and there was nose-to-tail contact
with Cooper Murray and Aaron Cameron. That's how it started on the inside.
Yeah. So Aaron Cameron got tagged in all that process. The drone might tell us a little bit more of the story. Oh, that was awkward. Right, so whichever car that was leaping over the top of Randall.
Randall,
yeah. Right rear corner of his thing's probably got a question mark on it, and then it's a bomb drop down here, cars going everywhere, and it was Murray's car. Yeah, so Murray made contact, I think, with Randall initially.
I was watching this really closely. I reckon he's moving.
Who?
Brock.
He may be too. Well, the problem is with that, you sort of need to see the lights in order to make the judgment, don't you? But certainly she was on the move. So the business changes very quickly, folks. So look in the background there. You'll see all this madness unfold down here at turn 1. Just now, yeah, so Cameron, Murray, Hill, Crick, LeBrock, and others.
There's a Penrite car right in the middle of this too.
That's right. See, it's the Penrite car. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. That's why I was confused. So it's the Penrite car to the right, then Murray, and then Randall on the left.
Engine limiters can be disengaged.
So there's another Penrite car. So Matt Payne is... I'm just trying to find where he is there now, because just up in front of that, that was Zach Bates too, the wildcard entry. He was right in the middle of it.
There's height through that last corner with the LeBron. I mean, how's this? Bates down the inside. Oh, and a big contact there with Hill. And more contact, feeds him off to the side of the road. Hip and shoulder on that one was pretty heavy duty.
That was wild. So I reckon there might have been something else go on there, because Cam Hill was so aggressive, and now Percat is giving him a hit, and he's escorted him off. So Percat down the inside at turn 2, and Zach Bates on debut ends up out in the weeds. And this is Feeney now up the inside of Kai Allen. He knows he's got to get this done quickly.
Have a look at this stuff. So Hill back to the right, and then back again, and then feeds Zach Bates off into the grass.
Stewards have imposed a pit lane penalty of drive-through to car 4 for a driving infringement.
Oh, that's a heavy one. That's a driving infringement that's actually going to be a PLP, a pit lane penalty.
Yeah,
that's a large penalty.
That's a big penalty. It's not just a normal time penalty. It's not a 5 or 10 or 15 seconder. And this was the second part of the trauma for Zach Bates. The little touch up on the right rear corner of that car from the teammate of Cam Hill, Nick Percat, and that sends him out into the gravel down there at turn 2, and unfortunately parks him down there. And that's also been noted. So if they determine in race control that there's a case to answer there, it might be a tough day for Matt Stone Racing. But have a look at the queue forming up here behind Waters at the moment. And the margin at the front, he's run wide when he couldn't afford it. Woody could have an opportunity here to capitalise. They're side by side, and there's going to be nothing in this. Can he hold on? Ryan Woody's wide. They're both the road. What a disaster for both those guys. A couple of hard heads have run themselves off the road, and they've blown.
Are you serious?
Oh, they are feral. They are feral on the radio.
And that has cost those two dearly. So up front, meantime, it is an awesome battle going on between Feeney and Payne. And that was always going to unfold, because trying to go 2 by 2 through that part of the racetrack is a near impossibility. But we've got a magical race going on at the front here at the moment, and Golding off the road now as a result of what's gone on with that car.
No steering.
Now, does that mean that we get another safety car intervention here? We've only got 8 laps remaining.
So they're blazing. Now back to the slow zone. And Scott Pye has hit... Sorry, Jamie Whincup has hit.
It's hit Scott Pye.
It's hit Scott Pye. Unbelievable.
So the in-car with Pye. Have a listen. Just see Whincup in the mirrors suddenly arrive at warp speed.
And that's the slow zone. So the line in the road is what he was trying to get back to. And there's been a massive amount of contact here. 2 team cars. Bang! And it's hurt the right front. Heavy damage.
And he was watching, because the safety car boards and the digital board was still flashing at that time. So the 2 teammates have come together, and that is heavy damage to car number 1.
We've got 2 to go on a 2.4K track. 4.8 kilometres the total journey, and it's probably going to get down to the last lap, or pretty darn close to it here. Feeney, we ride with him up into the hairpin now. He's right within striking distance, looking at the rear bumper of our race leader, Matt Payne, on a very different strategy play. And the Shell V-Power race car hopping out of the way while the 2 leaders duke it out on the run up towards turn number 6. 6th gear, flat out through this fast right hand of turn 5, 265 kilometres an hour. Brock's got grip.
Be patient.
And he's got the eyes on. He's fixated on the back of the Penrite Racing Mustang at the moment. Right with him, right with him, right with him, and that's an awkward place to try and show the nose down there at turn 1, so he sits in behind him. So we've now got 1 lap to go. So if you're Matt Payne, it's gloves off. He doesn't have to be polite. He needs to run him all over the universe all over the postcode to see whether or not he can keep him behind. He'll drive down the inside. Brock is going to do everything he can aggressively to try and find a way. He goes high, high, high on the bowl. Two different lines. There's only half a lap to go, and Payne's still got this at the moment. This is going to be a nail-biter. If Payne wins this thing, he will bring the house down. Feeney is on the charge down the back straight. What a nail-biting supercar race. It's a lucky 13 for Payne at the moment. Into the final corner. He might get this. Feeney tries to duck underneath him, and this will be the win of all miracle time in supercars if Payne can get it, and he gets it by a bar. That is a spectacular drive, Matt Payne. You are a man.
Awesome work.
Well
P1 fun.
How good was that? He's made those tyres live for about 47 or 48 laps.
That is epic. That is an epic drive from Matt Payne. I can't believe it.
That first one, this might also tell the story. You can actually see it go. And that's heavy duty. Glenn Seaton had a big shunt there years ago as well. Oh, that's into the rails, that's into the chassis. That is a mess, and hopefully Brodie's okay. The belts will have hurt with that one. So right here, see how it's gone under that front left tyre, and now he's a passenger. The thing's just going to snow plough down there, can't steer, it's sitting on the junk.
And we'd never see them go in so early there.
He carries pace into turn one, and he's got the slide going, Cam Waters. He's looking for a double victory. If you're Brock Feeney, you're looking for your first podium at Sydney Motorsport Park and redemption from a tough night last night. So, hi mate, I'm here, rat-a-tat-tat. Yep, I'm Cam Waters, and I'm right on the rear bumper. So huge pressure through turn three. Brock will be well and truly aware of the pressure of now. The lunge comes down the inside, and there is contact between the two. What a disaster. So Waters has gone down the inside and barreled into the side. And Will Brown could end up being the beneficiary because Waters is redressing. What a catastrophic end to the race with only 4 laps to go. A disaster here. What a mess. More contact now as Brown makes contact with the back of Waters. It's something of a schmozzle at the back end as they all try and figure out who's where. It's a mess.
Oh, he's put him off the road again. Now it's another bump. This is on for young and old. This is great stuff.
Unbelievable. So, is Waters going to get away with that, or is he going to get a slap from the umpire? We're right at the sharp end of this race. All of the drivers have lit up on the radio. They've all got a point of view. But what we've got at the moment is an unbelievable situation where there's a gigantic question mark hanging over the top of Cam Waters. All of a sudden, you've got 2 Red Bull cars either side of the monster car, 3 laps to go, nothing between them, and the blood is up in every direction.
Absolutely, and all the chat over the radio is you can't just redress like that. So there's going to be 2 schools of thought. Down the inside was Cam Waters at turn 4. They made contact, then Feeney went off the road. Straight away, Waters backed it off, parked on the left-hand side of the road, and let him go by. But it wasn't him, it was his teammate, Will Brown. So the 2 cars then got caught up.
So, Feeney leads from Waters, leads from Brown. There will be a lot of discussion about this afterwards. There'll be furrowed brows in race control as they try to unpack this one. And right at the moment, Brock Feeney's got the ascendancy in this car race. But there's a gigantic question over what happened back there. That's 0.2 of a second. What an unbelievable scenario watching that. And incident noted, it sure was, by hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So that has got everybody thinking. And I'm not sure that Cam will get away with that one. But a great motor race. So a thriller to be able to get back up into the teeth of this battle. But that big dive down the inside and resulting in the contact. We've got 2 to go. I've got no doubt that race control will look at this one after the fact. They'll be unpacking data and vision as we speak. Feeney leads, 0.1 of a second. And Waters has dropped that right rear off the edge of the sawtooth curve down there and only just barely wrestled it back on. He's not surrendering here. He's having another attack. We've only got 6 kilometres of racing to go and he starts to range up on the outside. There is nothing in it. It's a feeler gauge margin between first and second. It's another dive that he's thinking about down the inside here at turn 4. He thought about it, but this time decides to back away. But here comes Brown. He has a lunge down the inside as well. Forces the issue at turn 5 and there's nothing in it here. Will's up the inside and he'll continue with this all the way down to turn 6. They're chasing each other all over the road. And does he squeeze by? I think he's going to get him by the time they get to Corporate Hill. No, he didn't get the drive out of there, Brown. Waters clinging to second place by his fingernail.
So Waters thinks he hasn't done anything wrong and he's just trying to get Feeney. But Brown's playing into the game. So Brown doing that manoeuvre at turn 5 and then pushing him wide down to turn 6 has taken the heat off Feeney for half a lap.
Meantime, have a look behind. Mostert and Payne are right there in 4th and 5th. It's going to be a 5-way battle. No investigation necessary between 6-1 and 88. So there's been a call. So there's been a call from the umpire. It is game on. So that'll set the tone. It's on. It's on. Gloves off. Yeah. So we've got 1 lap to go. 3.91 kilometres. Feeney, Waters, Brown, Mostert and Payne in 5th position. There is only 2.5 seconds across the top 5 cars in the field. And our umpire has said no investigation necessary. So what you see is what you get. Is Waters going to be able to do anything? Brown's tucked right in behind him, and Brock Feeney might get not only his first podium, but victory at Sydney Motorsport Park.
What an unbelievable race. We've argued for years that we should let this stuff play out on the track. And this is what has happened in terms of the play between these two teams. And the way that Will Brown was able to get involved in that, it actually helped Feeney massively. Waters runs into 6. He's only got 2 spots now. He's gone over the hill and into turn 8. He's not close enough to put a move on here, but he does come off turn 8 better than Feeney. Can he fire down at the Mostert spot and get into the last corner on the inside?
They're wearing each other's cars at the moment through turn 8 for the very last time. Brock Feeney is our leader. It will be a desperate lunge by Waters when they get up to the final couple of corners. There is nothing in it. And he gets right onto the rear bumper again and tries to get up the inside. It's going to be on, it's going to be on, it's going to be on. He goes down the inside. This is an extraordinary conclusion to this motor race. I think that Feeney might just hang on. What an absolute rip of the race. But he's coming down there. Oh my goodness, it's been a change. To that motor race. I am blown away. I am blown away by what I have just seen. Oh my goodness me. By the margin of 0.030. I would not have thought that was possible at the last corner.
No way. Absolutely no way. How's the side draft? And even the bump, Will Brown gave him a bump, pushed him wide, and then he come up there so straight.
We played hard mode today, mate. We played hard mode, but we still got it.
That is a remarkable finish. I love this game when it's like that. That was just absolutely incredible.
Never gave up.
That's taken that breath away. Unbelievable. Well done, Cam Waters. 2 from 2. First of all, I thought he was going to get a smack on the head from the umpire. That didn't happen. And that last cut, I knew this was going to happen down here in those last couple of corners, giving him a tickle up, and then Will's there as well. But I thought at this stage that was it, but the benefit of the side draft, you called it a moment ago, I thought, okay, Feeney might get there, and at this point, he just scoots down the inside and snatches victory. Oh my goodness me. That has blown my brain.
Oh my God.
How is that?
What
That's
a cool
dead set
finish.
Lightning McQueen finished that one.
Watch this. This will be the reaction.
Yeah. Yes. Simon Brookhouse, Sam Potter, the men and women. Rod Nash is like, oh my goodness.
Get the security guard.
That's seriously, that is one of the best motor races of all time. Here he is.
If these guys fire themselves off, which is a big chance, David Reynolds could win this race. Who knows what unfolds here now. So the outside line, what they're doing and what Cooper Murray's doing an exceptional job of, Neil, is at Forest Silver, he runs around the high line. The outside line has got more grip. So that outside line where it never gets used, the exposed aggregate of the bitumen, and here comes Goldie. He's putting a move on, he's down the inside. He's giving him a hit, he's off the road. Matt Payne goes through. He'll have to redress. He'll have to redress now.
That's going to be...
It's over.
That is going to be frowned upon almost certainly by race control. This changes this motor race.
Matt Payne.
This changes this motor race dramatically. Now they're going to have to do deep analysis on this one. Whatever goes on here, we are experiencing one of the great motor races at Bathurst. And we knew that this was brewing. Let's have a look at the replay. He tries to fire up the inside. Goldie makes light contact, and I think Murray was also just starting to tighten that line down. There's going to be wildly different views on what's right and wrong here. Now, Matt Payne is in the lead of the race from Goldie, from Reynolds now on the podium. Here's the onboard. Bang gets him in the right rear. Now, did he tag him, or did the gap diminish? Depends on which team you're barracking for as to what your viewpoint's going to be. What's the view of the driving standards advisor? What's the view of the stewards? These are tough calls. It's a great save. It's a great save. First gear. Get on with it. Out the other side. He's still in fourth. And have a go at the reaction. Have a go at the reaction at Grove Racing. They've gone crazy down there. If you don't have sweaty palms at home watching this, nothing's going to turn you on.
That is just unbelievable now.
As the lights change for the BP Adelaide Grand Final, and it's a great start by Matt Payne, who grabs second gear, roars into the first corner. Ryan Wood is up on the outside of Feeny here as well, and all of them go supercrossing through the first chicane, and out the other side comes Payne. He's got some margin. Wood is hunting down the inside. He tried to force the issue, he couldn't do it. They were nose to tail with Feeny on the run now to 5, and now we ride with Moss at position 4. Cold tyres, second gear out of control. Woody up the inside. There's contact, and around he goes. Feeney's pointing in the wrong direction. Contact at the right-hander at turn 5. This is a giant game changer.
This is the highest stakes in this game. Ryan Wood, the teammate for Mostert, has just given Feeney a hit at turn 5 and turned him around, turn 6, sorry. This is huge.
Now that is going to be bitterly argued in the background between teams. Mostert having a look at Di Pasquale. That is a huge moment. That is going to set fire to the place in terms of opinion and rights and wrongs. And the safety car has been triggered as a result.
Well, that's actually good. That's actually good for Feeney.
Yeah,
that's good for Feeney because he would have lost a lot of ground under a normal racing circumstance. But the field now has compacted. This is good for Feeney. The net loss is a lot less under this scenario. He's 21st. Ryan Wood is 2nd, but he would have been a long, long way behind if the safety car wasn't called. This is the stuff we spoke of earlier, Neil. This is the gamesmanship. It's the stuff that happens. It's the highest stakes. Winning these championships means so much, and that is evidence right there at turn 6.
Well, it's a poker face down here at Red Bull Ampol Racing. See if Jamie's up for a chat right now. Your thoughts on the opening lap there, Jamie?
Oh, my thoughts are a non-championship contender getting involved in the championship, really. Yeah, there's hard racing, but he was just having a free swing, and yeah, we've paid the ultimate price for it. So it's still a long race to go, but that's pretty grubby stuff.
We won it from last year, so it might still happen.
Wow. Let's have a look at the replays at the start here. We're riding with Payne. He got an ideal conversion of energy. No wheel spin, grabs gears in position now. Wood tries to go to the outside down here, 1 and 2. They've all woken up to the idea of straight lining 2. But down here was where the issue was forced. So Wood feints out to the left, then dives up the inside. It gets closed off. There's a bit of nose to tail contact going on there. And then it's out the other side here into the right-hander now. In fact, Wood actually bumped the wall on the right-hander at 6 in that process as the squeeze. And LeBrock, I didn't actually spot that. I was busy looking at the other end of town, and there's a bit of junk on the road there. I think there's oil on the road there as a result of that. So up here at the right-hander at 6, there's just absolutely no room down there. Wood actually ends up bumping the fence. Championship leader Feeney.
When he spun it around, I think it was Will Davison, only just maybe Kostecki, that's on board with Boston to see the actual contact of the two cars. Watch this. So this is from looking back from Brock's car, down the inside, and then bang. Now when he spins around, he gasses it up to turn it around. The back of the car almost collects one of the Shell V-Power Mustangs.
There's nowhere you can go, mate. There's 3 later. You're like in down the side of it.
That reaction is all the reaction around the Ryan Wood manoeuvre.